Today I'm making a couple of projects for you. One is a little tiny acorn. It's so sweet and cute. UV resin pendant, or you could use it as a keychain or anything. And I'm also making a little tiny fairyscape. We'll just call it a fairyscape. It's a little magical world in a bottle. Welcome back to Tam's Creative Corner. If you're new here, thanks for coming and joining me. And if you've been a long-time follower, well, thanks for coming back, because I know it's been a little while since I've been on here. If you haven't heard the news and you haven't seen the last video, I'll link that above. Tam's Creative Corner has gotten kind of small because we sold our house, our art studios, we pulled out of the galleries, and we went nomad. That's right, we are now nomad artists living in an RV and adventuring around the US. Tammy, and this is my husband Scott. We are two artists who, when faced with mounting health challenges, decided, you know what, life's way too short. So we sold our home and most of our stuff to move into a home on wheels. Are we crazy? I don't know, maybe a little. But we're having a whole lot of fun, and if you want to see some amazing photography, some adventures, and just what is this RV full-time living lifestyle all about for two artists, you might want to come on over and join us on that channel too. And because of our tiny living situation, I've started playing with UV resin. It's so fun. In my last video, I made a couple little miniature UV resin seascapes with agates that I've collected from the beaches. So let's get started. First up, I'm going to start with our little acorn pendants. You can do so much with these. These come with little silicone molds and then really heavy duty caps, 2 gold, 2 silver. I'm using the TDYL hard UV resin. Make sure you get the hard kind for this project. Don't worry, because all of these things will be linked down below in my Amazon shop, and so you can find everything you need. And then I'm just taking a little bit of the resin and putting it in the bottom of the cap. Now I could go out and dry and pick my own flowers, but I was being lazy and wanted to get to it. So I bought these. They are real flowers and real like leaves and stuff that are already dried. And then I press that down into that first bit of UV resin, and then I cure it for just a few seconds, like 20 seconds under my light. Make sure before you handle your UV resin pieces that you let them cool for a minute, because they can get kind of hot. And then I fill up the rest of my little silicone mold and cure it for about 60 seconds this time. Depending on the lamp you're using, it may take longer, so just play it by ear with that. And then I'm using E6000 to adhere this to that cap. It doesn't take very long to dry, and then it's really sturdy, and you could put this through a necklace chain and make a cute little pendant. And you can make all kinds of things with these. You can put in pigments, you can put in different objects. I even made one with a little miniature mushroom that I had painted inside of one. There's just a lot you can do, and they're super fun, they're easy, and they're quick. But I just adore these little acorns. I was having so much fun with this little mini projects that I decided to try something else. So in my last project, you saw that I filled a little tiny glass message in a bottle with resin, and I made a seascape out of it. Well, this time I thought maybe I'll make a little fairyland in it. I got a set of these acrylic butterflies, and there's little crystals in there. And I also got this set of miniature mushrooms and jellyfish. It's kind of a grab bag of both, and they have other things too if you're interested. But I was loving the seascape idea and the miniature fairy world idea, so I went with these. And they're just plastic, and you can easily paint them with acrylic paints. After deciding which mushroom I wanted in my little glass bottle, I went ahead and I'm using my Arteza paints and my Arteza mica powders to get them painted and looking how I want them. And then I'm going to use this Bondic resin pen. It's basically a UV resin. It comes with resin in one side and a little UV light on the other side. It's great for fixing things too around the house, by the way. So I used the Arteza Brilliant Red to paint my mushrooms. And then while it's still wet, I take that periwinkle mica powder and I just brush it on, and it gives it a nice sheen. And after that dries, I add some white dots with another Arteza white acrylic paint, and this dries super quick, so you're ready to move on. Now, using some more of this dried flowers that I got in that same set with the acorns, I pick out my foliage, and then I use my Bondic to adhere the mushrooms to the foliage, and it just takes a few seconds. Now, I should have built everything outside and then put it in the bottle, but I wasn't very smart, and like I said, this was my first try, so lesson learned. Next time I will build everything outside of the bottle and then put it in. And as long as that light can penetrate through, it will bond and adhere and cure that resin. So there's my little mushrooms, and now I'm going to add some crystals to the bottom of it because of course I want a little more sparkle. If you know me, you know I like to make everything sparkly. You can see how you can have just so much fun creating anything in these bottles, and I'm thinking these would make great little party favors or wedding favors, and you could even put a little message in the bottle and put one at each table. I don't know. There's just a lot of ideas you could do with these. I'm just going to turn this one into a keychain, but you could put that little note in and write something on it and not seal the top, but I go ahead and seal the cork with some more UV resin so that it's set and I can make a keychain out of it. So I hope this video gave you a little inspiration. The possibilities are endless with these supplies. Have a great day, everyone, and happy creating!